Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So once again, it's kind of like a series, but this will probably be the last one because I'm running out of CDs that most people, I feel wouldn't have in their collection. So I'm going to be showing a bunch of CDs, albums, vinyl, whatever. Just curious how many of these you have in your collection, if any. And there's no way that any of my viewers have all of these in their collection. And if they say they do, they're lying. So here we go. This is just for fun. Don't take it too seriously. Okay, first up, I love this. It's a one of those twofer. There's two albums on one CD, and actually, they're separate CDs. So a double CD. Two complete albums on two CDs. And the one I'm wondering if anybody else owns out there on, like I said, on vinyl or CD is Flo and Eddie. And it is this one right here, which is called Moving Targets. It's an excellent, pop rock album. Of course, Flo and Eddie were in the Turtles. They were also in Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention in the early 70s. They do a re-recording of the Turtles' Eleanor, which is excellent. But yeah, it's an excellent, I keep saying excellent pop rock album. And the other one, Illegal, Immoral, and Fattening, I've never really taken the time to listen to more than once. But this is my go-to of the two albums. Lots of people have Alice Cooper in their collection. The Alice Cooper band and solo. But I'm curious, how many of you have... This is one of my favorite Alice Cooper band albums, actually. It's their second. Easy Action. If you're an Alice Cooper fan, of the band, and you haven't heard this, I highly recommend it. It's excellent. Arthur Brown. His big hit, of course, was Fire, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. And later on, in the early 70s, he had a band called Kingdom Come. Of course, later on, there was another band, they are more into like heavy metal or Led Zeppelin-ish, called Kingdom Come. But his band, like I said, was Kingdom Come, and this is their album, Journey. I bet you don't have this in your collection, and it's an excellent album. I've always loved the Beach Boys, but in the past year or so, I've become a huge fan of, albums I never really listened to before, like Sunflower, Surf's Up, 2020, Wild Honey. Of course, Pet Sounds is amazing. And even if you are a huge Beach Boys fan, you might not have this in your collection. And I actually, I guess this is really hard to, or it's expensive to buy. And I found this in a used CD store for $4. It's the Beach Boys' greatest album, Summer in Paradise. And it's this stupid digipack, which is really, you almost need instructions on how to open it. It's got this like arrow thing here. There you go. By the time you get to listening to the album, you're already too annoyed with the packaging. But let me know if you own this. And if you do, I'm so sorry. Now, in the past few years, I've received some really nice gifts from the Lennon estate. box sets and everything. And I finally checked out Sean Lennon's solo career, and very impressed with it. And especially his 2 albums, I'm just going to show you the one, his 2 albums with Les Claypool. The Claypool-Lennon Delirium, and this is their first album, South of Reality. I bet you don't have this in your collection, and you should. It's excellent. Now this band I showed in my first episode, and these are just, once again, 2 albums on 1 CD, and the one I'm going to be asking you about, unless you have this, is, I believe it's their 3rd album. Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong though. It's the Buckinghams, and this album, Portraits, is superb. If you love 60s catchy pop rock music, check out this album. Yeah, the one I showed on my first episode was In One Ear and Gone Tomorrow. And it was nice to, have a handful of people say, I've got that on vinyl or CD. You might have some albums by the very popular, in the early 70s band, Humble Pie, with, of course, Peter Frampton and Steve Marrowett. But do you have one of their earliest albums, As Safe as Yesterday? This was gifted to me, and it's kind of a compilation, but it's actual, their first 2 albums, and then alternate, I just woke up, alternate album mix, and Harvest singles, and Harvest sessions. This is Electric Light Orchestra, the Harvest years, 1970, 1973. I bet you don't have this compilation in your collection. Yeah, very nice booklet inside. I love all of ELO, and I think their first 2 albums are very underrated. This one, if you're a big Yes fan, you might have this in your collection, but once again, it's kind of hard to get these days on CD, expensive. They made the mistake of releasing a partially live and partially new studio album together, and even Rick Wakeman was saying that was a stupid idea. Keys to Ascension 1 and 2, and then later on they released just the studio tracks and called it Key Studio. Not the most inventive cover, but there are the well, I was going to say original members, but there's the band. Yeah, I feel that later, yes, with John Anderson, like Key Studio, Magnification, and The Ladder, I think they're all very underrated albums. So if you're a Yes fan and you don't have this, you should. And my friend on YouTube, Morris Gautreaux, he sent me some nice artwork and some CDs, including, you might have seen this recently in a video. And the next band I'm going to talk about, Sparks, and yeah, that was done by Morris Gautreaux. So check out his channel. Amazing artwork, and I am going to get these framed in time. You're a Sparks fan. It is Profile, the Ultimate Sparks Collection. 2 CDs, 2 separate albums, starting with 1971, Wonder Girl, all the way up to about 1988 with So Important. And nice booklet inside, both of them. This artist, in, I think it was episode 1, I showed one of her albums. This is another one. This is my favorite of hers. It is Jane Siberry, The Walking. I bet you don't have this in your collection. Huge Lou Reed fan. Now this is I guess this is a bootleg, but just curious if anybody has this. It's pretty good. The sound quality is pretty good. Lou Reed, The Broadcast Collection, 1976 to 1992. Here's the track listing. You can pause the video if you want to read it. So there's 9 discs. I'll show you a couple of them here. One more. Some Canadian content. This is, I think they released one album recently, which I haven't bought yet, but this was their second newest one. Great Canadian band, the Northern Pikes, and this is Forest of Love. And Kevin Kane, he is also in the band The Grapes of Wrath, and he's kind of in 2 bands now. And the last one, this was in a recent CD exchange with my buddy Glenn. He really likes this. It's a compilation again. And it is The Very Best of Mississippi Fred McDowell. I bet you don't have this in your collection. But if you love the blues, you should. Now, one of my all-time favorite blues songs is on here, Red Cross Store. And that is it. I think I'm looking forward to the comments below. And be curious to see. Like I said, I'm sure my viewers have some of these in their collection, but just be curious how many of them. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Please remember to like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe.